Hello everyone, it's Margaret Manning here and welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today is Thursday, it's October 27th. So welcome to Thursday. I hope you're doing well. I've got my cup of tea this morning. I'm drinking jasmine tea. And I did some research on jasmine because it's a green tea, but it's from the blossom of the jasmine flower. So it's not a herbal tea; it's actually a real tea, and it's very popular in Asia. But I like jasmine tea. It's got a kind of softer, more floral taste. So that's my tea for today. So I hope you've got one as well, a cup of tea or coffee, and I'll get you up to speed on the news. I wanted to thank you, by the way, for your comments yesterday about what you do in terms of exercise. I was totally inspired by some of you. And we have people that have a trampoline in their kitchen, to people who go walking, hiking, all kinds of activities, swimming, first thing in the morning, just get out there and move. So I'm very impressed, and I feel terribly guilty now. I'm going to go for a long walk as soon as I'm finished here and just start getting into a routine. So anyway, thanks for sharing the parts of your life. It's really wonderful to get to know all of you. So what's going on in the world? Unfortunately, there was an earthquake overnight in Italy again. This is very close, 2 miles from where Americi, where they had their horrible earthquake in August that killed over 300 people. So there's been 2 more earthquakes. It's very early news, so I don't know anything more than there was a 5.5 and a 6.1 earthquake about 2 miles from Americi in towns called, just remember the names of the towns, Visso and Campi. And if you know people in those areas, obviously, please, I hope they're okay and staying safe. It's a very remote part of central Italy where the roads are quite narrow and cobblestones. It's a very, it's not very developed area. So the casualties haven't been determined yet, of course, but I just hope that they rescue as many people as possible that are impacted, and that Italy can, gain some strength from this very difficult summer they've had with earthquakes. So that's in Italy this morning. In France, fires are burning at the Calais migrant camp. The last of the people are leaving, but as they go, they're setting fires. It's causing quite a bit of havoc. The general feeling is that most people have left, but when you hear interviews from people there on site, there still seems to be quite a few people there, hundreds of people who are refusing to go. And also, there must be about over 1,000 people under the age of 18, these unaccompanied minors who are trying to find places to stay. So that's the situation in France. It isn't over yet, but they've made a lot of progress this week. The situation in Iraq, just to report that the Mosul fight is on for the 10th day now. The Iraqi government and coalition are moving slowly towards Mosul because there are a lot of explosive devices that have been left on the roads, and the Islamic State soldiers are not giving up. They're really consolidating their efforts around Mosul. So all the reports are that the Iraqi government's moving forward, as fast as they can, but that the real battle is going to begin when they hit that urban area. So I hope everything is okay. It's not okay. How can I say it's okay? It's not okay, but it is what it is, and we have to try in our own ways to be supportive and positive about what's going on in the world, and try to control what we can control in our own personal lives. Just a quick question, a quick point about the United States situation with Obamacare. This came up in the news yesterday several times, and it turns out that the whole way that Obamacare was going to work was if more healthy people signed up for a contract, as well as people who were not well, because of course this gives the insurance companies the money to pay for the people who need help. And this has not been happening. So now the insurance companies are not making money, and it looks like, yes, the fees are going to go up next year, which is not good news for President Obama or for the whole program. And of course, with the elections coming up and Donald Trump saying that he would abolish the Obamacare program if he gets in, it's really uncertain as to what's going to happen. But I'm sure all of you women in the United States are very aware of this problem, and just keeping an eye on how things develop. And by the way, the election is less than 2 weeks away now. I think about 12 days. So I think a lot of folks are actually getting out and voting early. And I'll say it one more time, just vote. Don't let your voice be silent, and whatever your belief is, don't don't be complacent about it. Get out there and vote. It'll be really interesting. It's not very long now. We'll know who's going to be the next president of the United States. Quite a big decision. Now, I want to change gears now a little bit and talk about a couple of things that I think will energize you and make you think. As I said earlier, the news today is hard. It's really difficult to watch this news and to report it every day. It really gets to me sometimes. It really makes me feel, kind of powerless, and I'm sure you feel the same way. But I read an article yesterday on a channel called the Good News Network. goodnewsnetwork.com. And they have a woman, her name is Rajiv Ramachandra, not an American citizen. She's lived in the United States, so she's writing about the America that she loves and really the world that we should all hope for. And she says, I stopped listening to the news. I stopped listening to the radio and to the TV because there's only really one place to go for news, and that's to places like the Good News Network. There are a few. But she says, for example, here are the stories that I like to read. A girl asks her mother's boyfriend of 17 years to be her dad. He breaks down in tears. Great story. An 86-year-old man is paying for the college tuition of families of 8 students that he's never met in his life. He's never known them. He just wants them to have an education. 86-year-old man. An 11-year-old boy has donated 6,425 smoke detectors to families across Texas because he wants to be a fireman when he grows up. These are good news stories. A homeless man offers to pay a student's bus fare. A Chinese billionaire donates $2 billion to support educational, medical, and environmental causes in China. This is a nice one. A teacher in Afghanistan turns his bike into a mobile library, and he drives around the country to share books with the children who don't have any. And in Canada, Syrian refugees are giving back to their host country things that were given to them when they arrived in Canada, because there's been a huge wildfire in Alberta where people are suffering and have nothing left of their homes. But the story that she reads is that the Syrian refugees are giving back some of the things they were given. So these are good news stories. I could report them every day. Maybe they're more valuable than the stories of tragedies in the world. But I think it's a balance, and we've talked about this before. We can be positive and sensitive to what's going on in the world. So that's maybe the Good News Network is a place to check out if you're looking for fun and good news, heartfelt stories. But sometimes it does get tough, and sometimes it gets so tough that it affects us personally and emotionally. So the last story I want to cover is one that we've actually written about on 60andMe. It's on our website, and we'll leave you the website address. And it's about how we wrote a story and then got feedback from our community, from women like you how they deal with tough times, what they do when they're feeling a little bit low. So if the news and things happening in your neighborhood or your own personal situation, finances, jobs, health, beauty, all the things that may be on your mind, these are some things that 27 of our women gave answers to, how they get through tough times. And I won't read them all. I'll read a few, and then I'd love you to go to the article and check it out and see if there's something you would add. And also just give feedback to the people that left their comments. And I love these stories. They're really, it seems in this crazy world we live in, there's, we have to bring it on ourselves to get strong and to be resilient and, maybe not always feel great about it, but just ways to get through the day and see the positive. So, for example, Nancy says that when she feels a cloud of depression coming over her, she just acknowledges the feeling. She says, I get it, this is sad, but takes calming breaths and always tries to find something that brings gratitude. She's grateful for one thing, just one thing on that day. It helps. Jane says that she goes to a nearby hospital, and then she sits outside. She just grabs a cup of tea and just sits outside on a bench and watches the people come out. And, just sees in their faces sometimes the sadness, and knows that she's just so much better off physically than some people, and that it's, just good to remind yourself of that. Deb says that always connecting with people helps her. She reaches out to her friends, and she says that, getting busy helps her to improve her mood. I think that's really important. I tend to do that too. Just do something, just put your mind onto something that's more constructive and things you love. Do some knitting, do some sewing, read, go for a walk. Lots of ideas. Nancy, now I like Nancy's idea. She says that sometimes she hears a voice in her head. When she gets depressed, she hears a little voice in her head saying, put your head up, Nancy, and get your lipstick on. And she says sometimes I actually say it out loud, heads up, Nancy, put your lipstick on. And it just somehow, putting a little bit of lipstick, doing yourself up, putting a nice pretty scarf or dress on, just makes you feel better, lifts your spirits. Susan says that during rough patches, she tries to take her just remind herself to take one step at a time. You can't solve it all at once, but take one step at a time, and that's her idea. Carmela is a yoga teacher, and she says that yoga really helps her to practice her breathing, working through pain, because it's in your head. You can manage some of this stress and depression. And then Carol says that she always reaches out to close friends. And I think this is a really good one to close on, which is, sometimes we think we have to do it all ourselves, that we have to deal with these problems, our own personal ones and the ones of the world, by ourselves. But sometimes if you reach out to a friend, they want to help. It's in our nature. It's in our nature to want to help. And often if you ask them, they're just more than happy to talk, share their ideas, and help you. So don't give up on yourself, and don't give up on friends. I think that's really important. So that's our feel-good stories for today. I wanted to share the winner of our scarf yesterday, our beautiful purple shades of purple scarf. And I chose someone, her name is Paula Sorweed Miller. So Paula, I've actually sent you a note to how to get your address to me so I can mail it to you. And thanks for everybody that left a comment. It was really fun. It always is. Every day, and I'd love you to do it again today. I wanted to remind you something fun I'm doing today. I'll report again on it tomorrow, because there'll be things on my mind. I'm going down to a place in Switzerland called Lausanne. Actually, it's across. It's near Geneva, and I'm going there today to attend a simulcast of TED Women. TED Women is an event that's held every year, most of the times in California, and it's held there. They get a group together, 20 women who talk about issues around women, around not just young women, the aging, the future of things that are on our minds that empower us, women that are doing cool things in different countries. I went there 2 years ago in person. It was really, really wonderful. And today I'm going to Lausanne because they're doing like a live stream. So it's tonight, and I'm going to enjoy being with a group of women who are like us on a journey, and I'll give you some highlights when I get back together with you tomorrow. And so that's the end of our show today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please give me your feedback, in terms of the balance that we're achieving here. Is it what you like? And I would really appreciate your comments. And I'd like to build on the question that we asked earlier and have that be the thought that you comment on today. And that is simply, what do you do when the going gets tough? What activities, what things do you do when the going gets tough in your life? Look forward to reading your comments, and let's respond to each other, share and like, and just make each other feel really positive today. I hope you have a fantastic Thursday. And I really look forward to seeing you all back here tomorrow on Mornings with 60 and Me. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye for now.